what I want to do, Marwan, is I really want to utilize my books as medicine, like you said.
Right.
And I think there's an inner battle within us, and it's within all of us. And you may say left brain versus right brain, or like the heart versus the brain, right? And I'm in this battle, right? I'm in a world of engineering, right? I've studied engineering, whereas maybe my heart was in the arts when I was younger, as a kid.
Right.
And now I'm trying to find that my right brain once again. I'm trying to find those emotions, those artistic abilities. I want to add some fertilizer there, and that's why I started YouTube, in a sense, right? Become a creator. Can you describe that battle, that fight, and really delve into, do you have to choose a side? Because I don't want to choose a side. I want to, if I was born with two wings, I want to fly with two wings.
Right. This is actually a very interesting question, because I have this friend who once told me that he wished he could find his thing, right? So I asked, what do you mean by your thing? And he said, see dude, like you are a writer, right? And that's when it hit me that there are some of us who have a label, right?
Yeah.
And we are saved, like, oh, that guy, he's a singer. Like you saw his Instagram videos, he puts out all the singing videos, he's a singer. And it's a very protective thing to have a label. And what happens is when you're not in that label, when you're like a nuclear engineer is a label, but when you're in the, I go to an office and I work, that's kind of, it has this image of being, oh, that's so bland. Like you need to do something, for yourself. So that is a valid concern, but I feel we get caught up on labels too much, right? Like, especially in this age where we are all focused on specialization, we always like to say this guy is a YouTuber or a guy who's a painter. And we tend to shy away from the fact that you can have multiple interests and you don't have to be the best at it all, right? You can have a guy who is really a good poet and he does a bit of painting. His painting is nothing great, but you can do it. What happens is a lot of people try to say, no, I should only do this because that's the only way I get validation for my internal creativity. So for example, let's say you did YouTube videos and you found a niche that you didn't find it, but the public found it for you. They said, wow, you need to do more of this. Okay, let's take a very controversial example. Suppose you started doing 1 or 2 reaction videos.
Yeah.
And it became huge. And they're like, we want reaction videos. And in your heart, you're like, I want to have deep conversations with someone and I want to just I want to find out more. But people are like, where's the next reaction video? So you have this tendency to be like, listen, this is who I am. This is who I should be. I should be this YouTuber. That's just an example of how, in a grand scheme of things, you can have this urge to confine yourself to one track. And because you need a business card and you need one term on the business card, right? You can't have like and. That's a perception, but you can. That's why I feel like some people are lucky where we genuinely only have one passion. Like I genuinely only have writing. I can sing, but we should save the video from being totally flop. So if you have multiple passions, I feel you should do it without worrying about numbers, like subscribers, followers, likes, the time it's taken. Always try to eliminate the audience validation and try to focus on yourself. And I'll give an interesting example of how I found this in myself. When I started an Instagram page, again, Marwan_Razak at Instagram.
Link in the bio.
Yeah. When I started that page, a lot of my friends told me, you need to write those 1 or 2 line posts, like terrible tiny tales and things like that, where it's filled with heartbreak, or it's good. But for me, I realized if I was to do that, I would be just jumping on the bandwagon. I would just be doing what everyone else is doing, and it wouldn't be sincere at all. So instead, what I did was, if you scroll down to the bottom of my page, my early post, I would write 300 words in a post. It would be crammed and I would make it in Canva. It was terrible editing. But the fact is, because I did what I wanted to, I ended up getting a lot of Instagram posts that I was really proud of.
Mm.
And it wasn't viral. It didn't have more than a handful of likes, but few people were like, wow, this is a beautiful thought. That's when I understood that if you're able to cut that need for validation, you can work and find satisfaction in what you want. But it's a constant struggle.